Robert Oppenheimer used this as a description for the first nuclear test. When 1,000 suns explode in the sky, I shall come as death. He took a passage from the Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata and Ramayana. You will see vivid description of weapons which resemble today's modern weapons. You can still explore the cosmos, you could still know everything. You look at the sciences as we know it today, they are full of explanations, but never ever addressing the most fundamental aspect of creation in any sense. Explanation for what is already there. And those explanations keep changing every 5 years. And a new set of people will get Nobel Prizes. I'm not trying to make fun of science as a whole. It's a fantastic exploration, no question about that. Today, the top scientists in the world have fully realized that this is not the way. They are openly saying that it is not only that we do not know, we will never know, but knowing tidbits about creation itself will bring enormous amount of benefit to humanity, no question about that. But benefit to one generation and extinction to the future generations are very short-sighted benefits. You will see in Puranas, Mahabharata and Ramayana comes under the Purana culture. You will see vivid description of weapons which resemble today's modern weapons. They could have just made up something which did not exist, the concept of it which did not exist a few hundred years ago. And you will be surprised, Robert Oppenheimer, who is considered as the father of modern nuclear weaponry, when the first nuclear weapon was tested in the United States, in Los Alamos, he took a passage from Krishna, from the Bhagavad Gita, and he said, when Krishna spoke about this, he said, when 1,000 suns explode in the sky, I shall come as death and shall shake the world. So he took this passage and used this as a description for the first nuclear test that happened in the United States. Because the same thing was spoken almost 5,000 years ago by Krishna. So why I'm going into this is, these aspects of physical sciences were explored and were rejected, are not the way for the humanity. If you go this way, this is a way of destruction, this is not the way to go. So they turned the whole thing into a mystical dimension where a human being can expand and explore limitlessly without causing any damage to anything around him. Without disturbing any life, you can still explore the cosmos, you could still know everything. And fundamental longing within a human being is, he wants to expand. How he does it is the only question, either by conquest or by inclusion. Which way does he do it is the only question. But a human being cannot be kept here without expansion. So, when we talk about mystical dimensions, we are talking about looking at life, exploring life in a completely different direction and dimension. This needs a certain amount of reversal of everything you have done as life. If I say your life, you will immediately think your job, your business, your family, your husband, your wife, your children, your friend, and and many other things, isn't it? Very few people, only, if I put a gun to your head and say your life, then you understand what's life. This is not a party, this is not a job, this is not money, this is not home, this is not children, this is not this and that. Life means this. What makes life is not your local train coming on time, airplane taking off on time, your cell phone working, something else happening, your bank account clicking. No, what makes life happen is just this: the soil, the rain, the breeze, the mountain, the tree, and what beats here, what pulsates within this every cell in this body, and above all, the intelligence behind all. If we want to explore something else, then we have to rejig ourselves a little bit. Rejigging ourselves may not be our idea of fun, but I want you to know one thing: the only and only thing, knowingly or unknowingly, that you're aspiring for is to become something more than what you are right now. You will never become anything more than what you're right now, unless your perception is enhanced. By increasing your bank balance, you will not become more. That's only in comparison with somebody. Unless everybody is little poorer than you won't feel good having $1 billion. Suppose everybody in the world has $10 billion and you have $1 billion, are you happy? So $1 billion is not going to do anything, it's only the social comparison. Anything that you may have or you believe you have achieved in life will not mean anything unless there is somebody to look down upon, unfortunately. Please see this. Yes or no? The only thing that will matter is your perception is enhanced. You are experiencing more life than you were experiencing yesterday. For this, you don't need anybody's comparison. How somebody is experiencing or not experiencing is not even an issue. If you're experiencing something more than what you were experiencing yesterday, this day is a blessed day and it's a fulfilled day. Ultimately, that's the only and only thing that fulfills a human being and nothing else.
Religion is supposed to be the means of peace, attaining peace. But in practicality, in reality today, every religion has got a base of fundamentalism and involved in terrorism. Can he not make an attempt to create a new world order where there is no religion at all?
Of what you unfortunately know as religion in the world today is just somebody's belief systems. Somebody believes God is round, somebody believes God is square, somebody else believes he's a triangle. That's the situation, isn't it? And you must understand this. Once you start believing in something which is not yet a reality for you, you are bound to be in conflict with somebody else because somebody else is bound to believe something else. No, I believe in my God, but I am not a violent person, I will not fight with anybody. All this is just make-up. If they provoke you sufficiently, you will fight. Like, for example, let's say you believe God has 4 hands. I believe God has no hands. There are 2 belief systems. Tomorrow, out of your love for God, you put 100 feet tall statue in Coimbatore city, of course with 4 hands. But suddenly I feel so hurt. These 4 hands look so ugly because God actually has no hands, because that's my belief. So tonight I will go to that statue, I don't intend to cause any damage to your God, just to make him the way he really is, without hands. So I just cut off the 4 hands. Tomorrow what will happen to you? You want to cut off my hands, isn't it? Simply because you believe one thing, I believe something else. As long as people believe in something, conflict is inevitable. Because you may say, no, we are all brothers, we are all one, everything is okay with us. All this bye-bye stuff, when we really have to come to a point, when I believe what I believe is right, I will try to manifest it. I will try to make it a common thing everywhere, isn't it? Yes? Once I believe what I believe is the truth, naturally I will try to impose it on other people. I don't call it imposition, I call it saving you from ignorance. Yes or no? Once I firmly believe that this is the way God is, I will try to put it on to you, just to save you, not to hurt you. But you will get hurt, because any imposition hurts. When you resist, I will use other methods to put it into you, whatever those methods are. Sword has been used, money has been used, every kind of inducement has been used, isn't it? Simply because I believe one thing, you believe another. Religion is not about belief system. All religions started as a method to turn inward. But it's an inward step. An inward step can be taken only by an individual, isn't it so? It's a very intimate thing, something very, very concerned with only with you, nothing else to do with anybody else. But when people try to organize this inward step, naturally it gets distorted. Now we want to do our religion on the street. Religion cannot be done on the street, it can only be done within you. If you become truly religious, you must be beyond any kind of conflict, isn't it? Both within and outside. That is the whole crux of the religion, isn't it? But today religion means conflict. If you utter the word religion, you're talking generally in terms of conflict that is happening in the world, isn't it? This is because you have reduced an inward step into your set of beliefs. Because if you have to take an inward step, you have to transform yourself. If you have to believe something, you don't have to transform yourself. You can do whatever nonsense you want and still believe God is up in the heaven, isn't it? Yes? The crudest people, the cruelest people on the planet have always been talking about God, isn't it so? Yes or no? All the warmongers in the world have been talking about God, isn't it so? And God has been helping them. See, the moment you believe something, you have a new kind of confidence. It's the biggest problem. When idiots become very confident, the world is in danger. An intelligent person is constantly hesitating with life. With every step he wonders whether what he is doing is okay or not. But a fool has absolute confidence. And when his stupidity gets stamped by God, that's it. No looking back. Just can go on doing the most idiotic things without any problem about it. The very nature of your intelligence is such that if you do something stupid today, tonight your intelligence will bother you, why did I do this? Isn't it so? But if you get God's stamp on your stupidity, you don't have to turn back and see. You can do grossest things on the planet and not bother about it, feel very proud that you're anyway going to go to heaven because you did all this nonsense. There is no experiential dimension, you're just believing something. Once you believe something, your belief and somebody else's belief are bound to clash somewhere. The conflict in the world is not between good and evil, please see this. Though people always claim it is so, it is not true. It is always one man's belief versus another man's belief. So religion has become a problem because we have reduced it into just a set of beliefs. If it was experientially true that you really felt God, then Could there be conflict? There is no such possibility, isn't it? But because you're growing from a belief system, you're not willing to make the effort of going beyond what you have gathered from others and looking at life by yourself. That is why there is conflict. If you do not know, there will be no conflict. If you know, there will be no conflict at all. But when you pretend to know, there is bound to be conflict.